everybody. I don't know if we are live or not yet. Is it working? Starts out now. Yeah, so hey everybody. I hope you are doing well on this cold summer Monday. It's a lovely day. So I'm just checking if the live stream works out. It's this, yeah, it does. It's the third live stream, but I'm still unsure how really everything works or not. Anyway, so last week we discussed what we can build next, and yeah, I've got some ideas, but before we start that, actually, this weekend I had something to do on Juno's website, which I did not do because I thought that it could be an interesting use case for those who are using Juno. So let's have a look. On the Juno's website, this weekend I improved the SDK documentation. And yeah, it's nice. But I was thinking that now that we have like a guide and example section, it would be actually interesting to have here like a Node.js page instead of having that put in miscellaneous. But if we move that page there, then we're gonna have to configure it with a redirect, otherwise the backlink's gonna be broken. So I was thinking, yeah, we can move that page and set up the redirect and yeah, basically do that. So here I got the documentation. So it's a Dockersaurus website, right? And here I have that page. So that's not really related to Juno, but we're just gonna do it. So as usual, I'm gonna zoom my editor. Here should be better, I hope. And we're gonna move that page to the guide. All right, so let's move it here. All right, and let's rename it Node.js. And I want to have the page of the Rust. So take that. Okay, so ID Node.js, title Node.js. Let's do like that. Let's click SDK usage in a Node.js context. We can give that. And because the next one I'm gonna do 7, and then I need to move. Oh, it's already 8. Super. And local development is already 9. So let's just check. 5, 6, 8, 9, 1, 2, 6, 3, 4. Yeah, we should be good. Okay. And so just gonna quickly check that we are good, right? Okay, so okay, we're gonna update that too. Okay, so here we have Rust, and then we have Node.js, and here we're gonna have Node.js. Right, not too bad, right? Okay, sounds good. So Okay, so I'm gonna do a pull request with that. So with Node.js page. Okay, and where was I? Yeah, so here with move Node.js page to guides. Okay, here. So just gonna click here. So that was the original plan. Yes. So here I go to the doc and I move this. Okay. And what we also gonna do, since we are already there, it's not related to the call, but let's do that. So we have seen here that somewhere I got github.com/ so use with icdraw, right? And here we have icdraw.js. We want it's because it's the vanilla JS example. Okay, I see. So here we should put a node. Okay, I'm gonna do that another day. All right, so it's deploying, right? And once it will be finished to deploy, this page here should lead to a 404. And we're gonna have to redirect that page to this new page, which is guides Node.js, right? So I'm gonna prepare the configuration while it's deploying, right? Keep an eye on that. So when we want to do a redirect, that's documented here. In hosting, we have these capabilities which are redirect. So in our configuration, we can provide a source, that would be this path, and the location, which will be the URL, and the code to say if it's a permanent redirect or so. So what we're gonna do is here in the configuration of the website, which is Juno config. Here you see I already have some redirect in place. For example, this one, which takes here, right? And ends here. So what we want to do is take this path here, right? Funny. And we want to go there. Okay. So also gonna provide a pull request for that. Okay, so here it's deployed. So technically, if I call this URL right now, I should get a 404, except if it's cached or something. So, of course, there is some delay. Did I deploy? Oh, wait. Maybe some caching. We deployed everything, right? And here I should have guides/node. We have it here. So here, funny. Okay, so I guess it's the boundary node that still needs a bit of time to refresh the website. Ah, here now we have Node.js, and here we don't have it. So if I do it again, that should be a 404. Of course not. Ah, yeah, no. I'm dumb. Okay, so the thing is, it's not a 404 because I've deployed the new page, but the old page is still there because the build just deployed a new page. It doesn't delete the old page. I would need, like, for example, to clear all the states and deploy again so that page goes away. But what I can do is, because I replaced this page now, is I'm gonna check who am I. Okay, I'm David. So what I can do is, like, there is that clear option where if you don't give any parameter, it deletes all the file you have done uploaded. What we can do is we can do Juno clear, but we give the path to the file. So here we're gonna give that path. I need a slash at the beginning, I think. That way it's gonna just delete that file. All right. Oh, kind of no assets. Okay, so do I have like a typo? Okay, it's not my day. Asset cannot be deleted. No assets. So it's like that path doesn't exist. Let me check. When I build the file was in .html, I guess, or SDK usage. No, this is the file name. All right. So okay. So now I've set my asset canister. I've set my asset canister, my satellite that I've deleted this page. So now if I do a refresh, finally I got an error. All right. So now what we're gonna do is, as I said, here we have set up a redirect from die path to this. Okay. This path which exists. All right. So here we have that. So what we do is Juno config, and this will take all my configuration and apply it again. All right, and if we go here now, and if I refresh, I got my redirect that is in place. Yeah, all right. So where was I? Here, redirect, tac, tac. Okay, so again, what I did is in my project, I move the file, then I let my GitHub action deploy, and once I was deployed, I did a Juno clear -f with the absolute path of the file, so that includes the extension. And once it was deleted, I set up a redirect, and then I did a Juno config to set that up. Okay, cool. So now it's really nice with the Juno build. If you go to the guide, an example, you're gonna have Node.js here. Cool. And yeah, that's 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 already it for that particular part. I hope it was cool enough. So as a next step, last week we discussed a bit the idea of what we can do and what we can implement, and we thought, yeah, that would be nice to have some notification mechanism. And I was thinking that instead of just implementing only the mechanism, maybe we can try to actually build kind of an application, and then so that we see also, or maybe I can share how I structure the app, like, like where I put the guards, the notification and all those things. And then we can sign in, persist data, and then at the end of the process, we send a notification, kind of like trying to, I don't know, like spend 3 or 4 different Juno live on the same project, like building together a small app. I don't know if that would be cool. I don't know if anyone is in the chat, but yeah. So that's basically my idea. And yeah, so what I was thinking is we can build something like a bit like I don't know if you know Doodle, like, or Calendly, one of those apps where you you can schedule dates, and then you can send that to your friends, and your friends can come and pick the dates. And so I thought that would be a nice use case. So you can do something like, okay, let me clear this. Do I have a clear button on that application? We don't have clear, really? Ah, here. Okay. Yeah. So let's say we have a user, right? And the ID is that the user sign in goes to adapt. Do we want to sign in? Yeah, let's see if, yeah, we want to sign in. So the user sign in with 2, and once login is done, the user can enter different dates. Click like that. So let's say the user want to have dinner with friend, like July 22. Oula, it's gonna be a bit small. That here, here. So maybe July 20, whatever. You see my point, huh? July 25 and 13 anyway. And then once that's done, the user get a link, and the link can be sent to the friends of him or her. right? And then when those open the link, they go basically to the same view, but they can answer if what date fits or doesn't fit, right? And ultimately, what we can maybe also add is that when one person is clicking a day or so, we're gonna, I don't know, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna do something like bad jobs. Hoopla, bad jobs. Gonna do this. A cron here. Gonna send some emails. Okay? So that if John is doing that, like David and Toby get an email because someone has joined the meeting. So yeah, uh, yeah, we probably not gonna be able to implement everything in a go, but yeah, something like that. Does that make sense? Hope so. So today, I would say let's start by doing this, starting the app and plugin 2. Okay. And my idea is instead of reusing the example, I start a blank kit and then I copy brick by brick what we need from the example so that I explain a bit why and what we do. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's go. So we're gonna do Juno at latest. Okay. We're gonna code that stuff. Let's call it right now. Let's call it just. I don't have ID. Calendar. Let's just use Juno calendar for now. Okay. I want to make an application, and yeah, it's already enough challenging to do like some live coding. I, I think I really would like to use Vue because I don't know Vue really don't know except the basics. But I fear that if I select Vue, we just gonna most of the time have me. I'm gonna have to try to search and think. So I will go with SvelteKit, even though SvelteKit V4 is really different from V5. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do let's do that for the sake of things. And here I'm gonna select starter, but just because, as I told you, I want to that we put the pieces together, not that we just jump to the solution. And not yet. I want the local emulator, and yeah, we can start the dependencies. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. It takes at least ages. Nice. Okay, so we have Juno calendar, right? And okay, so what do we have here? I can start this. That's gonna be the application. Super, so I already have the style and so on and so on. Nice, but I can also start the local dev emulator, which requires Docker. Okay. Okay, so what do we have? We don't have much, we just have the layout. Here, the various articles and some libraries. Okay, and if I check the config, we have an empty config. Ah, that's interesting. Let me. This has been renamed to data store, so I can open a pull request or an issue if someone wants to resolve it. Juno config file, rename db to data store. Okay, great. Good. So here I'm gonna. Those are all the source for the templates that the CLI is using. So I'm gonna go in the SvelteKit example because, as I told you, we're gonna go brick by brick. So first thing first is we're gonna remove the logo here. So in static, I got that illustration, so I'll remove that. That's a background component, so I will remove it. We don't need it. Right. We can keep this for now. And here we want to rename that things to no, calendar, okay. And these articles here, we don't need those right now, okay. So what I'm gonna do is here I will remove that. Here I'm gonna add a to. All right, nice. So now what we want is we want to have the authentication in place, right? So what I generally do is I'm not sure if I do that here or here. I'm in the SvelteKit example. Okay, I'm gonna take the example of the Aussie wallet. It's gonna be easier. Not really, that's not a good idea, sorry. Let me 2 seconds. Yeah, so first what we need to do is to init Juno. So here you see in the Vid configuration of my project, I already have the Vid plugin, and here I have the container which is set to true, which means that it will automatically inject the environment variable for local development in the project. And when I build for prod, it will automatically inject the prod value, right? So what we need now is this part. All right, so in the layout, okay. So in my layout here, yeah, why would I do it if it's already done? So what we have here is we say init satellite, so blah blah blah, and it takes care of everything. So now what we need is to go to table, I guess, and somewhere I should have login button. So give me 2 seconds. Template. Oh, spell kit. This is the one we are interested in. So here I'm gonna take those two. Yeah, exactly. Auth. And where is that use? Layout. There you go. So, okay. That's what I wanted to show you. So here in the layout. Okay. And the final things we need to do is copy. Okay. So okay. So let me explain a bit what's happening here. All right. I need to copy more than I thought. Store, user derived. So we take those two. Oh la la. Okay, so calendar. Okay, and this one. And we're gonna go really like auth, login, logout. Login, what I'm missing? The button. Okay, login. We have it here. Logout. All right. This is good. We need a type user. Okay. And okay. So let's have a look what I did. In the general layout of the application, I added a component auth. It's like a context, okay? And in that context, it does one important thing is when the context is mounted. That's gonna be more beautiful if I do that. When it's mounted, it calls that auth subscribed from the Juno library, and it sets the user in a store, okay? And user option is either the user undefined or null. Likewise, on destroyed, you use the callback and it kills the library list. What I've also done is, you see here, there is a swelt window that listens and sign out auth timer. So here, I don't really use it. I just do a console log. But what does that stuff does is, if you go to the hosting here, no, sorry, the authentication, you have advanced, and in advanced you have session expiration. So if you add a post install script to your application, so here what we do is every time there is an install, the file that is in this worker of the library gets copied in static worker. So here, if I look, you see, I got a worker. So this will automatically copy a worker in your project so that when you initialize the satellite, you can say workers true. And by doing that, it happens that automatically in the background, in a web worker, you will have a job that checks every, I don't know, seconds, I think, if the user authentication is still valid. So it ticks, it ticks, it ticks, it ticks. And when the authentication becomes invalid, then you will have an event, Juno sign out or timer, that will be automatically triggered. So that way you can catch that and log out the user on the, it's automatically logged out, but you can catch it so that you can, for example, change the route in your application. You know, like you for example, you notice that the authentication is over, and then you display again the login screen. So yeah. And here what I did is, in addition, I had to add this in the TypeScript definition file so that Svelte project understand the types. Okay. And blah blah. And here I have a derived store, so that's Svelte stuff. So basically what it does is, like, each time the user is set, if the user is not null and not undefined, then we can assume it's signed in. And what it does is, if not signed in, it displays the logout. If the user is signed in, or the contrary, it displays that. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's basically it. So if I try here, if I do a sign in, of course I'm working locally, so I have to create an identity. Okay. And now I have the logout, right? Okay, super. So we already have the sign in here. Okay. And the login and the logout, it works just like calling sign in and sign out from the library. Okay, so I will make an intermediate pull request maybe, which I should have done earlier, but anyway, so Juno calendar. So I'm gonna make a new repository. Okay, public, right? And here, git, there, maybe. Okay, format is good, just checking the lint file and the check. Great. And then okay. So now we should think a bit at what will be the structure of the data, right? So every user can probably have a list of events they organize. That's gonna kill me. I should have disabled those flags. Yeah, so we should think about the structure. So a user probably gonna have a list of events, I guess, right? So the user gonna have events. So event 1, event 2, event 3, and each event gonna have a list of dates. So we have event 1, gonna take again those terms. So July 22, July 25, August 13. And then for each event, no, for each date, we're gonna have who can participate. User 1, user 2, user 3. Okay. So that's gonna be a collection. Seems to make sense. And then we might make one collection with the ID of each event. And each event, yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna have that. So here we can list the events. Then the user select an event, and when the user select an event, we can retrieve this information. But somehow it would be convenient to retrieve everything in block, but we can also have get money, which wouldn't be too bad. And when a user select an event, they can add this array, right? So let's start. We can iterate. Let's start with the begin. Like we want the user to enter event. So we're just gonna start by the begin and create a form, right? Okay. So I think we're gonna take the same UI as in the example so that when the user click new, it opens the modal, and then we're gonna fill form from there. So if we go to table, think actually we're gonna take the same logic, right? So let's actually, yeah, I should have just take the example at the end of the day. But yeah, anyway, so here we're gonna modify that, and we're not gonna use note for sure. This one I close it. This one I close it. No, I shouldn't have not. Where was I? Here we're gonna take the backdrop, the footer we have, login we have, tac tac. Here, okay. Do we need that one? We don't need that one. So backdrop, nothing particular. Modal, we are good. And table, I think there should be an error because this is not here, right? So this one, we remove it. Example reload, yeah, we gonna take this here. Okay, so now signing in, so that's still the case, but I should consume the modal and the table, these two. I go to the page here, yeah, okay. So here, instead of events, we're gonna call that, no, instead of entry, we're gonna call that events, right? And when here, we're gonna call it, an entry, what is that? So it's gonna be schedule an event. Okay? And here, we got that. All right. That's not too bad. Okay, so let's format this. All right. Add table modal. Okay. And now what we're gonna need to do is that here, when I schedule an event, I don't want a text area, but I want an event name to get started, right? So what we're gonna have here first is gonna have an input. It's gonna be nice one, and placeholder, I guess it's like your event name, and here I'm gonna reuse that. And here I need to set prettier, right? And what we want also to do is like when the things are in progress, I just want to display the input field. All right, so here we have our event name. Yeah, not too bad. I actually like to have the name before, but yeah, let's not reinvent the wheel. And we don't want to have a not hash file because we just want to keep things simple. I don't think we want to add assets here. So we're gonna remove that, we're gonna remove that. We're gonna remove the input file, remove that. We keep input, we have show modal, progress, valid, yes, yes, reload, okay, add, okay, file, blah, blah, blah. We remove that. Here, that's nano ID, it's alright. Stack, And here we so we just need justify and I guess. How does it look? Yeah, not too bad. Okay, so when the user enter an event name, here we want to add like a calendar picker, right? Empty, no? Yeah, I'm using Tailwind here, by the way. Okay, so here we're gonna have a calendar picker, and once the calendar picker, and when the calendar picker, I actually want to select multiple days. So it might be multiple calendar picker. I don't know how we're gonna do that. And when it's gonna select multiple days, then I will click submit, and that should persist the data, right? But yeah, I really want to have like have that in a group. That would be nice. Like have like a, I don't know if I should use a div label. Here we're gonna use this. Here we're gonna give it a name, event name for name. Yeah, it's a bit more. I don't know. Kind of like I like it like that. Oh, David, it's not better. Let's put that here. Px, py. So here, py 4. No, that's gonna add some margin here. I guess that will do. Alright, yeah, that's a bit much. Okay. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. And for the calendar picker, we can. So here we're gonna have div. I'm not sure that div is semantically correct, I have to say. But yeah, if we go to Juno's code, yeah, so we go to the analytics, and somewhere here I should have a date or something, no? Or calendar, filter, not bad. Here you see, that's what we are looking to implement. So let's just put that way, and here we're gonna have, what do I use? So that selected data, that's just gonna be run date right now, and on change. So we don't really have to do that neither, I guess. Yeah, we can parse to a real date. That can be interesting. So yeah, that's a nice typo. Selected input, and here we're gonna set selected date, which is a date or undefined, right? And then we're gonna do onChange. We're gonna do if non-null from and from. Okay. So if selected date, found undefined, and selected date, new date, selected date, or undefined, right? Ah, sorry, the input. All right. Okay, and here the field can be clicked if this is different and undefined as well. Okay, and this one goes here. Okay. Yeah, we have a picker. It's pretty ugly, but we have a picker, right? And that means that here we can have like something like div selected date, and here we're gonna have selected date as well. Cute, right? Class flex call merging for, yeah, it's super ugly, but we can still take this one here and put that as a class. Yeah, all right. Selected data. At least I'm consistent in my typo. Okay, so I will merge that. Oh, yeah. Here's add UI inputs. Okay, and we are good for today already. So what we can do next week is we start persisting the event and date in a satellites, and we basically try to implement that things, and then we fetch the events, and then we also try to generate somewhere. I said we need a unique link to, and all this kind of things, right? So yeah, I don't know if everybody was watching, but if everybody was, I hope it was alright. Hope it makes sense too. And if there is no question, guess we see each other next week, right? So thanks for your time. Bye bye.